Luvion, how's it going, man? Chris, how's it going? Oh shit, Luvion, you were right, dude. Moderator symbols changed. I think this is the first time it's changed for me. Like Chris's symbol looks like a shield or whatever. Ah. I remember Luvion mentioned this a while back, but I'd never seen it like this. Interesting. Yeah, sorry, Chris. It's on stream, no, but sure. But it changed. Oh, I see. Okay. Alright. Deserved Kami, fair. You. Alright, deserved is. How was hibernation? It was good, man. I feel well rested. But good. How about you guys? How are you guys doing? The fucking... What is this word? Seeing people still think there's auto combat is making... I don't actually know much about the... Has there been actual gameplay released at this point? I have no idea. I haven't kept up with it. Oh, this is so cooked. There's a 7-second clip of mobile? Okay, I guess that's something. Oh, I've seen this one. I don't, bro. Fuck off. I don't know what this word is. Just get me out of here. I don't want to play. Embed. Yeah, no, I was not gonna get that. Routine, drill, habit. Unknown, how's it going, man? How you doing? There's a music change. Thanks, Kami. Number, silence, grind. Grind? Do you think so? Shit. Okay. Sid, how's it going, man? Uppercase, number, symbol, Length. Password requirements. Let's go! Timer, silence, gag, muzzle. Silence, gag, inhibit, muzzle. Perfect Wordle, let's go! Yeah, we don't give a fuck. Bit, face, timer, sense. Words after, two, oh, I see. You need to lock in today. From now till the end of the volume, you have to read in bunches. Reach to total of 6 chapters. Yeah, no problem, Chris. When is the volume end for this? By the way? For volume 2? Factor, impact, factor 263? Oh, that's not bad at all. We're pretty close. Okay. So in that case, we'll try to do 270. Okay, so we'll try to do the volume ender next week, and then I'll get through. That's not factor, multitude, many, change, everywhere, often. Okay, many factor variable. I know, easy started, yeah. Many further factors. Further factor. Influence. Further factor. Yeah, I figured it was gonna be that. Harsh, how's it going, man? Factor. No. Fuck is not allowed. Jeez. Wow. And communism over here. Wow. No freedom of speech. I'm thinking of fascism. I don't know why I said communism. Zaza, how's it going, man? I'm good, man. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Yeah, if you want to, we can play after this. If you want? I don't mind. I saw Sid chatting on Twitter. Cool. If it goes here, I take heat. It'd be stupid. Give me your ID. It's just down here, man. Plus, I think I already have you added. I feel like we played before. I might be misremembering. I don't know. Oh, here, but... Yeah. No, you have not added me. Oh, have I not? Oh, my bad. I kept talking about it too and just fucking... Oh well, shit happens. Then request thanks. Right. How's everyone doing today? Fine. Sunday? I think it's Sunday for everyone, right? Some of you might have crossed into Monday, but... I go here, he takes... When's that? It's just... Oh, Super Bowl Sunday, true! I don't watch football. I mean, I might watch the Super Bowl, but that's the only football game I ever bother. I don't know. It's just... I would say it's a boring sport, but honestly, it's no more boring than any other sport. It's just... Copied Volume 1 plot, did it? Ooh. That's something, I guess. I don't know. Oh, he fucking know. Step out from so potential game, yeah, thanks. You left a good song while you're... Oh, true. Oh, true. No wonder I'm losing. Thank you. I'm losing in terms of materials, but I'm up by like a minute, so there is counterplay chances. I hate you. What did I do, Kami? What? Why? What? Oh, the music. Oh, okay. I got it. If I move this, then he goes here, and I just get cooked. Oh, unknown. Oh, never mind. Oh, unknown. Oh. Um. Okay, Harsh. What are we doing here? What kind of word games are we playing here? Maybe he sees it, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Fuck, he's hot. Oh, dude, he's so fucking annoying. I just don't have enough time. Four seconds, fuck! So fucking close. Oh, you're so close. Oh, I had a chance there too, just that up. Oh, 4 seconds, that was so fucking close. If I just spent like 2 less seconds playing on, looking at chat, I probably could have won that. Fuck, that was so dumb. Alright, sorry. Okay, one quick game with Zelza and then we'll go, okay? Zelza, are you actually rated 300? Maybe just here. Any plans for the weekend, guys? Chilling. Nice, nice. One free day. Bye. I don't know if Zaz was watching my screen or not. I can't really tell, but it's all good. Oh, that's good because it ends. For a second there, I thought he had me, and then I. You're better with the queen? Yeah, probably. It's okay. I normally tend to do better with more pieces on the board. My endgame is where I generally find myself quite lacking, so that seems probably fair, but okay. Rooks are all locked inside now. If I'm being honest, that's kind of what I want. I want a super closed position. Good game. I could have just ran him out on time too, but this was way prettier. Honestly, I was playing a super closed game just because the sheer difference in our time. Zaz, I'm not playing a fucking 10-minute game with you. No fucking shot. Kami will actually shoot me. If you want to play at the end of stream, I'm happy to, but fucking Kami will shoot me. Nah, again, if you want to do it at the end, let me know. I got no problem, but yeah, so what was this thing? Yeah, like we had such a difference because like I think I was at like 3 minutes and 30 seconds and Zaza was at like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So the sheer difference in our time was just like, I'm just gonna play a super closed game. I'll just wait him out. And then at the end he just crumbled and I was like, alright, fuck it out. I wholly plan on him being up material and me just winning on time. That's how I wanted to win it, just to piss him off. But then he kind of just gave up at the end. The lunatic still wore a grimy linen shirt and yellow trousers, as if changing clothes was not part of the plan. Upon hearing Lumien's words, he looked up, revealing a face obscured by a black beard. It seemed as though he had forgotten Lumien entirely. Will you play with me someday? Not... Yeah, no, let me know whenever, dude. It seemed as though he had forgotten Lumien entirely, his blue eyes empty, clouded over. I'm dying! I'm dying! He clutched his shoulder, which was hidden beneath his unruly black hair. Lumien approached, his left hand gloved in black, and he withdrew fallen mercury, and with a swift motion plunged it into the lunatic's shoulder. The filthy shirt tore open, revealing a shallow wound, but still oozing blood. The lunatic froze, as if long-awaited judgment had finally arrived. After a few seconds, he collapsed to the ground, placing his hands on the ground and scrambling away. "Please don't kill me," he cried out. The tenant and the neighboring rooms had heard the commotion, but none dared investigate. The lunatic often ranted about his impending demise and pleading not to be killed. The sinister pewter black dirk had already left the lunatic's shoulder, and Lumien continued to gaze at the shimmering river of mercury, lost in thought. He witnessed the blissful first half of the lunatic's life and the tragic deaths of his family, one by one. It was as though Lumien could relate to the sensation of a complete mental breakdown caused by an overwhelming blow. At times, Lumien yearned to break down like a lunatic, to abandon all reason and act on primal instinct alone. But there was still a glimmer of hope, a minuscule, unrealistic glimmer, and he dared not relinquish it. Thus, he often acted impulsively and displayed self-destructive tendencies, yet he was always restrained by the rationality that stemmed from the flicker of hope. He never truly disregarded the consequences, existing in a state of profound contradiction. Knowing precisely which fate he wished to exchange at its approximate date, Lumion swiftly located the lunatic's destiny of encountering the Mosuri ghost in the underground market district. With the tip of the blade, he pried it loose, transforming it into a droplet of liquid mercury. The dripping fate originally belonged to Black Scorpion Roger, flowing into the lunatic's body. Well, Roger's fate was like getting drunk or some shit, right? It was some like really minuscule fate. Ignoring the lunatic's terrified pleas, Lumion squatted before him and wiped the blade of mercury clean with his clothes and assisted in staunching the bleeding. Lumion pulled up a chair and took a seat, patiently waiting for the completion of the fate exchange. I think it's just you, Unknown. I'm dying. Please don't kill me. As the lunatic shrieked, time ticked by. Finally, fallen mercury quivered. As the lunatic's voice ceased, he rose to his feet and said, I need a drink. Lumion smiled and said, the drinks are on you. Consider it a reward for helping you escape the ghost. Naturally, the true reward for the fate was the fate of encountering the ghost itself. With careful planning and unguarded target, it served as an excellent tool for assassination. You got rid of it? The lunatic asked. You can choose not to believe me, Lumion said. The lunatic, driven by insatiable thirst for hunger, trailed after Lumion as they entered the corridor. As they made their way to the bar, the lunatic glanced around and noticed a distinct change. The eerie sensation of being watched from the shadows had vanished. Dude, Fallen Mercury is too fucking OP for a fucking Sequence 8 to have. That's like crazy. He basically has like the Mosuri Ghost, which seems to be like a Sequence 5 or something equivalent. He just has that bitch on speed dial, basically. Like, this is too OP to have. My hair is so cooked. I need to take a shower. It's actually like having creeping hunger. Like, it's crazy. Perplexed, the lunatic settled himself at the bar counter and ordered 2 glasses of beer, one for Lumion and one for himself. He downed his own glass. Occasionally, he visited the bar in moments of sobriety, no one suspecting something amiss. After quenching his alcohol craving, the lunatic turned to Lumion and asked, "Have I truly escaped the ghost? How did you manage it?" "I've slain the ghost, but I can't be certain if it will resurrect," Lumion said solemnly. "However, if those who previously encountered it are still among the living, then it shall be free from its torment. Remember, I mentioned encountering the ghost myself. Look at me. I'm alive and well." Really? The lunatic found it hard to believe this handsome young man had defeated the ghost. Not even the church could do so. "I lied," Lumion said. "I merely discovered an incantation that prevents the ghost from plaguing me, but I require the blood of someone haunted as a conduit." "No wonder you stabbed me," the lunatic said. "I may not be able to compensate you at present. My savings are meager, and I must find new employment." "So what should I call you?" Lumion asked. "Just Flameng will do." "And yourself?" "CL," Lumion said. By the time his glass contained only a thin film of liquid, Flameng had become quite tipsy. "Did you know I used to be a university lecturer? Simultaneously, I was entrusted with the safety of some students. Some of them were reckless and audacious, daring to engage in any endeavor and shout slogans of freedom when challenged. They even held proms in the catacombs, burning the bones of nameless corpses to warm their ass. They believed in nothing and feared nothing. Of course, I was not too different in those days." Flameng recounted tales from his first half of life, his tone shifting between pride, happiness, astonishment of his present ills, and wistful reminiscence. "Might you have entered the underground trio to dissuade certain students from taking risks?" Lumion asked. "Pushkar, how's it going, man?" "No, my expertise lies in minerals," Flameng said. "The subterranean rock formations of Trier are uniquely fascinating to study. Together with the medical school, we established a museum of mineralogy and pathology in the catacombs. I had been leaving the museum, making my way to the underground market district with the intention of heading home when I encountered the ghost. I'm good, man. I'm good too. Thank you for asking. My Sandrine, my Bastien. Flameng clutched his head, his voice filled with agonizing pain. Lumion quickly changed the subject. So the subterranean rock formations in Trier are quite unique? Indeed, Flameng said. We even assigned poetic names to those formations from top to bottom. They were referred to as flower, sheep, and sedges. Engrossed in conversation, Lumion and Flameng chatted well into the midnight hours. The latter appeared lively, and his face, bearded, seemed to regain some color. He didn't seem to lose his sanity again. Having confirmed that there was no longer a feeling of being watched, he returned to normal. After bidding farewell to the intoxicated Flameng, Lumion smiled and withdrew his gaze, entering his room and writing a letter to Miss Magician. First mentioning how Chermy Boris had nearly influenced him into transferring Charlie's luck, and how he had slain Roger and other Lady Moon's subordinates. Lumion then revealed that the Provoker potion had been completely digested due to the latter. He inquired whether Miss Magician possessed the Pyromaniac potion formula and the associated characteristic, as well as the price he needed to pay. Not long after, Lumion tidied up his room and summoned the puppet messenger for Miss Magician. Good job, you've already recognized the potential influence and threat that long-named fellow possesses to you. Stay vigilant. Thank you, Kami. Based on your description, this Lady Moon should be a sequence 3. Being able to truly provoke such a demigod will undoubtedly hasten your digestion of the potion. Sequence 3? No wonder he had that sudden digestion. This is like the equivalent of like Sequence 5 Klein being watched by Adam, who's equivalent to like 10,000 fucking spectators or whatever. It's like... If I recall correctly, you were attending Mr. K's gathering tomorrow night and will inform him that you can worship that being, meaning that you will truly become one of them, completing the initial phase of the mission I assigned you. As a reward, I shall give you the formula for the potion free of charge. I do possess the characteristic as well, but remember the principle of equivalent exchange. In fucking Christ, sorry, I just punched my desk. In Intes, the two main ingredients for the Pyromaniac potion cost more than 18,000 world ore, often exceeding even 20. Correspondingly, the characteristic usually amounts to around 35,000. What does this mean? It implies that people in Intes, many people have become pyromaniacs? As a holder of a Minor Arcana card, I shall grant you a substantial discount. The characteristic will only cost you 30,000 world ore. Good luck. A significant 1/1/7 a discount is like not a significant discount, okay? A 40% off is a significant discount. 1/7, what is that? Like around 18 or 19% as a getting discount? Like, sure. Yes. Oh no. No, I'm thinking of that's for like hold on. 14%. Fuck off. Fucking saving taxes. Get the fuck out of here. He had already 30,000 world ore. Lumion felt that sum was not unattainable. He already had 4,000 world ore in savings, and the evil scythe known as Harvest Sacrifice should fetch some decent money as well. He could also borrow some money from Franca and embezzle a portion of Saul de Balbre's money. These combined efforts should bring him close to that sum. Just as Lumion suspected, Lady Moon had transformed from a mere madame to a lady, undoubtedly more than Sequence 4. Fortunately, we had feigned impending defeat in our previous battle, preventing Roger from seeking assistance. Lumion burned Madame Magician's letter, freshened up, and climbed into bed. Just after 6, Lumion washed up, changed his clothes, and when he heard footsteps descending, it was Roer and Michael. Kami, what am I putting on? Yeah, I know. I remember. Chill, bro. Oh, ye of little faith. I got it. What am I putting on? What am I putting on, Chris? Thanks, man. Oh, sealed vessel. Shit. Oh, God. Did Charlie die? There's no way, right? As Lumion stood by the door of room 207, Ruhr, his voice filled with panic, cried out, Ciel! Muswa Ciel! That lunatic is dead. Dead? Flameng is dead? Lumion was momentarily stunned before darting past Ruhr and Michael, making his way to the third floor. The door to room 310 was wide open. Lumion spotted Flameng hanging from the window. He faced the door, having cleanly shaved his face, revealing a gentle, gaunt visage. He no longer breathed, his face had turned blue and his eyes bulging. His mouth hung open and the morning light streamed through the windows, bathing his lifeless body. He hung silently, suspended by a belt to the window frame. I don't even understand what happened here. Suspended by a belt to the window frame. How the fuck do you do that? What? Beneath him, on a wooden table, lay a near-extinguished kerosene lamp, several large books, and a white sheet of paper. Lumion fell into an eerie silence before cautiously approaching the paper. When I was deranged, I still harbored the will to live. Upon awakening, I found no purpose in life. Lay me to rest in the underground tomb of light within the catacombs. Lumion raised his gaze, meeting the vacant blue eyes that seemed to peer back from beyond the grave. He stood in solemn silence, as if time itself had come to a halt. Sag. At the stroke of 8, a pair of law enforcement officers ambled up to the third floor of Auberge de Côte d'Or. One meticulously examined the lifeless body, the suicide note, and the surroundings, while the other commenced interrogating the neighboring tenants. Lumion already disguised himself using the mystery prying glasses. The officer, donning a uniform and clutching a pen and paper, looked in his direction. You must be Ciel Dubois. Enlighten me on this matter. Lumion proceeded to recount how Flameng's sanity was gone prior to his arrival, a man incessantly raving about encountering the Mosseri ghost and the demise of his own kin. Soon his turn did seem imminent. Lumion continued, revealing how Flameng had abruptly regained consciousness last night and indulged in a bout of heavy drinking. What about the wound on his shoulder? The officer interjected. Before he gained consciousness last night, he injured himself. I was the one who bound it up, Lumion responded. After interrogating the other tenants and the proprietor of the basement bar, the two officers cautiously deduced that the deceased had long been plagued by mental instability. He possessed the motive for his suicide and the corresponding tendencies. Damn. This is like a... I don't know if it works quite the same in this scenario, but there's like a there's obviously someone much smarter than this should be in explaining this, but all the same, there's like a thing in psychology that's like sometimes being in a kind of bad so let's say like this is the spectrum of good to bad. Okay, so bad. It's not a theory, it's more just like a psychological thing in general, right? It's like sometimes being here much closer to the bad is better than actually being here. Because sometimes you're like in a bad... This is old. He used to cook so much, but true, dude. I actually do need to start coming up with theories. This is actually true. I've just had so much going on, dude. Because the thing is, normally, like, in the past, I would just be, like, thinking about, like, okay, like, well, like, what's happening all the time, so I'd be able to cook up theories a lot more, whereas now I just have so much shit going on. I literally don't think about it unless I'm reading it, so it's, like, so fucking cooked. Where, like, to be here is actually kind of like, Lumion toilet theory. Because it's sort of like the equivalent of like someone who lives, someone who has like a shit job, you know, someone who has like a bad job, you know, the manager's kind of a dick and, you know, they don't like the hours and it's kind of far from home, but it's just passable. It's like their manager's not too much of a dick. The pay isn't horrible. It's not unbelievably far. So they just stay in that shit job and just be miserable the entire fucking time, right? Whereas if a person has this job where their boss is just a fucking dickhead and the pay just sucks and it's so far, they have to wake up at 4 a.m. to get there, it'll like galvanize them to like into action. They'll be like, no, like I need to find a better fucking job. I'm gonna fucking leave work and then I'm gonna like put energy, I'm gonna apply, I'm gonna get a better job. Right? So paradoxically, being in a shittier position is actually better because it will allow you to get over here. Whereas if you're just in a kind of shit spot, and you're like, it's just passable, you'll just stay stuck there the entire time. It's not quite what happened to the guy, but basically, like, when he was like having a tough time, he was like, no, like I really want to live. But then when that went away, he went like, damn, I don't really have anything to live for. What am I fucking bothering for? Which is sad as fuck, you know? But as they maneuvered Flameng's body to the mortuary bag, they addressed Lumion and said, we shall transport him to the catacombs. But it's a rather intricate procedure. Entails ascertaining the precise cause of death, summoning a clergyman for purification, finding a suitable heir for the estate, and liaising with the catacomb administrators. It will take a week or two. Lumion said, I've shared a drink with him. Remember to inform me when you lay him to rest. Affirming their agreement, the two officers departed the motel, taking Flameng's body. Lumion removed his disguise and returned to his room. Seated in a chair, his back to the window casting sunlight, he faced the dimly lit corridor, grappling with a swirl of emotions. Flameng's suicide had presented Lumion with an alternative fate. Lumion had aided Flameng in evading the Mosuri ghost, not driven by the desire for personal gain or reward. It was simply because he saw a reflection of his own predicament in a man who had lost his family. One had succumbed completely. Unknown kind. What you're saying is true, but the only thing with that is that just changes where you find passable. That's the only thing that changes. For someone right in the middle might be passable. For someone a little bit on the shittier side, this is still passable. For someone, this is still passable. That's the only thing that changes. The principle itself is true across people, because we can't put in all our effort all the time on everything. It's just not possible, right? So you focus on like, hey, what's the thing that like currently requires the most effort? So you'll say like, okay, this thing is really fucking with me, I'm gonna fix this. So what you quantify as like, this is really bugging me, will differ from person to person, but the general principle of it does stand. But in the end, Flameng, no longer tormented by the ghost and driven to madness by fear, opted to kill himself. In the corridor, Elodie, her tresses concealed beneath a blonde wig and her eyes accentuated by eyeshadow, alongside the other cleaning lady, had already commenced their bustling day, working ceaselessly. Lumion stopped, his gaze appearing distant and unfocused. After the passage of nearly 15 minutes, light yet hurried footfalls reverberated along the staircase, eventually reaching room 207. Can I change the music, Kami? Lumion, fuck me. Okay, I swear, I'm gonna take some time today while I'm working on the... Am I muted? What? It's fine now. Oh, can I change the music, Kami? Once we're done with filming, yeah. Okay. So are you talking about the region beta paradox? That may be its name. I don't actually. Yes, very much so. Yep. Jenna's silhouette came into Lumion's view. Today, she donned a more understated attire compared to her usual flamboyance. Her blouse clung tightly, compelling the gentle brown shade of her top and fluffy beige skirt. She sported a knee-high black boots, and her makeup exuded both decadence and allure. She looked at Lumion and entered room 207. Lumion snapped out of his reverie and observed silently. Jenna repressed her curiosity and asked, "Have you heard? The bosses of the two leaders and the boss of the Poisonspur gang have been murdered?" "I'm aware," Lumion said. "Bug, how's it going, man?" "You weren't involved, were you?" Jenna asked. "Do you think I possess the capability to kill Roger, Harmon, and Castina all at once?" Jenna, having already gleaned an estimation of CL strength from Franca, shook her head. "No. But you can still seek assistance." "The authorities don't even suspect me," Lumion said. Ordinarily, as one of the few individuals who had recently engaged in a confrontation with the gang, he would undoubtedly be subject to questioning. Yet, Lumion had remained on standby since last night, prepared to don a disguise at a moment's notice. Yet, no one had arrived. Just then, hurried footsteps echoed from the staircase. Knocks. Knocks resounded against the door of room 207. "Come in, it's not locked." The visitor who stood before them was none other than Charlie, dressed in a white shirt, light-colored vest, and a formal black suit, exuding an air of dignity. Good for him. Well, where does this civilized individual come from?" Lumion said as he couldn't help but smile. Charlie couldn't help but conceal his own grin. "Right? I'm now a true gentleman, in the process of mastering classical grammar. Madame, bonsoir. Please allow me to extend my greetings." Jenna chuckled, but didn't discourage him. "To be frank," Lumion said, "you're more like a monkey playing dress-up." "I've only begun my studies," Charlie said. "In a month's time, you will witness an entirely different me. Oh, by the way, this is Monsieur Charlie Collent. He's currently enjoying a sumptuous dinner worth 8 Vril d'Or." At this point, Charlie glanced at Jenna, who stood beside the bed. "What's the matter? Speak your mind," Lumion said. "Bound by strings? Dr. Z? Did you hear? Last night, Roger, Harmon, Castina all died. Why don't you ever plan things ahead?" What do you mean? I scheduled this like last night, like 12 hours ago." Charlie glanced at Jenna. "What has been confirmed is that murderers belong to a terrorist organization known as the Aurora Order. They have a penchant for gruesome displays of carnage and preliminary targets who worship evil gods. In that case, Roger and his cohort followed an evil god named the Great Mother." Pushkar, it's not that. It's literally, Dr. Z has a very specific, naming conventions. So after a while, I just kind of know. I'm not saying I get it right 100% of the time, but it's good odds, you know? Aurora Order? Lumion was taken aback. Where did this scapegoat come from? Wait, no, hold on. What has been confirmed is that the murderer belonged to a terrorist organization known as the Aurora Order. They have a penchant for gruesome displays of carnage and primarily target individuals who worship evil gods. In this case, Roger and his cohort worshipped an evil god named as the Great Mother. The Aurora Order? Lumion was taken aback. Where did this scapegoat come from? Why were the official Beyonders pointing their fingers at the Aurora Order? Oh, he doesn't know about Mr. K. Shouldn't they first investigate those who had conflicts with Roger and the gang? That's how detective novels were written. Are you saying that the Aurora Order carried out these murders? Jenna asked. Charlie nodded. That's right. The Aurora Order appears to have claimed responsibility for these acts in some capacity. Tomorrow, there shall be reports about it in the newspapers. The latter half of Charlie's statement suggested that the information he had just shared was meant to be disclosed and held no confidentiality clause. The Aurora Order? They weren't even involved. Why would they take responsibility? If he hadn't personally slain Roger, he might have suspected the Aurora Order as the culprit as well. Charlie glanced at Lumion and spoke. This afternoon, once the election concludes, a crackdown on the mobs in the entire market district shall commence in response to the public concerns about the district's security. Are you reading from a document? Your words sound so official. Lumion realized why Charlie had rushed to inform him. It was best from those with dirt on them and had to leave the market district this afternoon and hide. Lumion nodded and said, I have a mysticism gathering this afternoon. Charlie breathed a sigh of relief and said, I'll make a move first. In the future, there's no need to inform me about such trivial matters, Lumion said. Do you doubt my abilities? It's my first time, Charlie said, so I couldn't help but feel a little emotional. Don't worry, unless it truly concerns you, I won't bother you anymore. As Lumion watched Charlie leave, Jenna clicked her tongue and said he'd turn into your spy among official Beyonders. I'd prefer if he wasn't. He's just an imbecile, bound to mess things up. Jenna scoffed and said, I'm gonna go find Franca. Are you planning to share the information Charlie gave us with the others? If everyone flees, the official Beyonders will definitely investigate any leaks. That imbecile won't be able to escape. Besides, some people deserve to be in jail. And you don't? Jenna criticized as she left his room. At that moment, the two cleaning ladies had already reached the staircase. Jenna hurried over, her gaze sweeping across the cleaning lady named Elodie, who wore a blonde wig. Suddenly, Jenna's expression froze and she turned, heading to Lumion's room. Elodie, a woman of almost 50 years old with a blonde wig and eyeshadow, also noticed Jenna. Celia. Jenna's body went rigid. She forced a smile and greeted Elodie. Mother. What a twist! Wait, what? What? Mother? Lumion couldn't believe his ears. Then he recalled Elodie mentioned that she used to be a theater actress and enjoyed watching performances at the theater. Her husband passed away a few years ago, leaving behind nearly 2 adult children. Jenna, on the other hand, was an apprentice actress at the same theater. Her father also passed away a couple years ago, leaving only her brother and mother. Her plan was to earn enough money with her for her tuition fees and expenses for the coming year. It adds up, Lumion thought. Why are you here? And what kind of makeup is that? Elodie said. Oh, she's about to get an earful. What are you doing? This is not how I raised you to be, Celia. Jenna's eyes darted around. It's a requirement for my class. Her words seemed to ease her tension. Didn't I mention that I work part-time as a waitress at a bar? This is my boss. I'm here to discuss my salary with him. Jenna pointed confidently at Lumion. Elodie glanced at Lumion and nodded. Don't forget, and looked back at Jenna. Don't forget to come home tonight. It's true, Kami. They're like, oh yeah, come home. I know what you've been doing. I know what you've been doing to make ends meet. I'm gonna fucking show you making ends meet. Jenna's smile faltered and said, okay. Seeing Elodie return to her task, cleaning the other side of the second floor, Jenna tiptoed down the stairs and made her way out. It didn't take long for her to spot Lumion catching up to her. Damn it, why did my mom have to be here? Blame it on the theater. Monsieur Ive, the owner of the motel, found a part-time cleaning lady who works only half a day. And your mother is a regular visitor at the theater for plays. These heretics, Jenna said. Tonight, I'll tell her the truth. I'll tell her I'm working as a singer to save up. You don't seem nervous or afraid, Lumion said. That's my mother, not some monster. She's kind-hearted and understanding. I didn't tell her before because I didn't want her to worry. Worry now, though, Lumion responded. Being an underground singer in dance halls and bars often involved dealing with a lot of shady characters and the chance of being taken advantage of. I am the mistress of Ciel Dubois, a leader of the mob and guardian of Saul de Barbry. Who would mess with me? That's even more dangerous, Lumion chuckled. If my mother can't accept it, I plan to demonstrate my abilities and convince her I can take care of myself. I'm about to put belt to ass, yeah. Jenna composed herself. She's been through so much and has worked tirelessly for years. I want to help her. Since your father's passing? Lumion asked. It was an accident at the factory. My father was injured and spent 10 days in the hospital. But in the end, he couldn't be saved. We used all our savings and still owe a lot of money. A few years ago, I could have pursued a career in a theater and studied acting, but it wasn't until the beginning of this year that we managed to repay almost half our debts and save up some money. My mother insisted that we couldn't delay any longer. If I kept waiting, I'd be too old. No compensation for the accident? Lumion asked. Yes, but that scoundrel hasn't paid us yet. He keeps appealing and the courts always take their time. He's dragging it out until we're fucking dead. Was your mother truly an actress? That's right. She had great acting skills and was beautiful. But most managers, sponsors, and owners were men. They'd prey on actresses like lions patrolling their territory. Those who refused to resubmit wouldn't get good roles. It's infuriating. My mother has a gentle nature, but she is fiercely stubborn. She could only land supporting roles and was even fired. When the theater she worked at went bankrupt, she lost the chance to return to the stage. She had to take odd jobs. That's when she met my father. They got together and became husband and wife. Praise the sun. At that time, my father was working hard to become a laborer. My mother took on various jobs and saved money while searching for an opportunity to return to the theater. Later, my brother and I were born. My mom and dad became busier, struggling to make ends meet and give us a chance to pursue our education. When we got older, my mother was already too old and couldn't return to the stage. She put her hopes in me. She wanted to see me become an exceptional actress. My father wished for my brother to be a skilled laborer. These words had been bottled up inside Jenna for a long time. Only now did she find an opportunity to express them. Do you aspire to be an actress yourself? It's hard not to love theater when your mother is such a dedicated fan. You can tell that your mother has a genuine passion for theater. Even as a cleaning lady, she adorns herself. She says it makes her feel youthful, as if she's back on the stage. In her eyes, she remains a true theater actress, and these other jobs are merely a part-time endeavor. She's always been like this. She takes me to witness the sunrise, reminding me that the darkness will give way to the light. And she tells me that even in the darkest of times, I must find a way to kindle my own light. If I continue as an underground singer for another year, I'll have enough for next year's tuition, and can make a lot of progress in repaying our debts. With our combined earnings, we shouldn't be burdened anymore. We won't have to juggle multiple jobs, and my brother can take the opportunity to learn skills. As Jenna spoke, her excitement grew and she couldn't help but raise her arm as if grasping the beauty of the future. Lumion observed Jenna silently. Hope, such a profound and moving word. Why are you staring at me? Haven't you seen someone get excited before? Jenna said. Lumion scoffed, but chose not to respond. Why do I feel like you're in better spirits? Yes, she said. No. At that moment, the two of them had already entered Avenue de Marche, posters celebrating Hugh Artois' successful election. Hugh Artois, the joint support of the Savoy mob and the Poison Spur mob, had indeed become a member of Parliament. I wonder what changes he will bring. Lumion averted his gaze from the poster, his mind echoing Franca's words. Lady Moon, a follower of the Great Mother, believed that Hugh Artois was an open-minded individual. True. Wiz also supports Hugh? Hey, I support whoever my King Klein supports, okay? Whoever the dominator of the spirit world says, I support, okay? I haven't heard from him in a while, so I don't know. I haven't heard from him in precisely 231 chapters. In the afternoon, prior to embarking on his journey to Avenue de Boulevard in search of Mr. K, Lumion arranged an altar in the second floor of Salle de Barbary. Or that, Pushkar, that would also work. With the wall of spirituality in place, Lumion proceeded to light 3 candles, left to right, and said, "The fool that doesn't belong to this era." Damn, we just needed to mention him. The dominator of the spirit world. We just needed to mention him. He knows all. The fool that doesn't belong to this era. The mysterious ruler above the grey fog. The king of yellow and black who wields good luck. A faint grey goose arose, accompanying an unsettling aura. I implore you. I implore your protection. After a series of gestures, Lumion caught sight of the angel, seemingly materializing from pure light, and heard a dreamy sigh, a sigh originating from infinite height. Descending from above in resplendent and ethereal form, an angel extended its arms to embrace Lumion. Wings of radiant light enveloped him. As the evening descended upon 19 Rue Shear, Avenue de Boulevard, Lumion made his way to the basement to face Mr. K. Clad in his customary voluminous hood and black robe, Mr. K sat silently upon his chair. I am highly pleased with your adeptness. What's more, unknowingly your actions align with the teachings of my lord, countering those blessed of those evil beings. Have you given it thought? Yes, I have, Lumion said. You have revealed to me the magnificence of your lord. Ah! Mr. K burst out into a maniacal laughter. My lord's honorific name is the Lord that created everything. The omnipotent, omniscient Lord, the Lord who reigns behind the curtain of shadows, the ruler of the mind world and the degenerated nature of all beings. Choose any 3 and entreat him in Hermes. That's good, dude. That's fucking good. The Lord that created everything, omnipotent and omniscient, reigns behind the curtain of shadows. So, hold on. Let me just open up my notes. So, Which one would omnipotent be? Would that be secret suppliant? Is it that one? Omniscient is reader. Curtain of shadows should probably be secret suppliant. Would it be bard that's omnipotent? Yeah, that's what yeah. Which one is omnipotent again? I can't remember. Fuck. Curtain of shadows, I would think would be like referring to the... secret supplement, no? Am I... Bro, I'm fucking... Come on. No. I know it's the 5 pathways. I know the 5 that's not what I'm thinking, like each... There's 5 lines. I'm thinking in some way or another they would each refer to a different one. But I guess the degenerated nature and the curtain of shadows, they would both have to refer to the secret supplement one, so that doesn't make any sense. Pure omnipotence would be the hangman? Maybe. Yeah, I guess. Otherwise it's multiple. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. No, I was... Because there were 5... there were 5, like... whatever, fucking, you know, titles or whatever. So I thought each would refer to a different pathway. That's why I was going with that line of thought. It just... Chill. God damn. Y'all have no faith in me at all. Holy shit stakes. Reader, spectator, omniscience? Oh, yeah. Okay. The mere description by Mr. K caused Lumian's garments, skin, flesh, and bones to dissolve completely, leaving behind an aura of sensation, of pure consciousness and self-awareness. Involuntarily trembling, Lumian recited, "The Lord that created everything." What did you say? Omnipotent and omniscient reflects the past, reign behind the shadows and degenerate nature created all things. Friend of GA and the mind world visionary. You to make a Lord of the Mystery after finishing. Oh, Pushkar, I intend to, dude. There are so many videos I want to make. The problem is I don't have... Okay, this is the problem, right? The reason I haven't been... so I haven't been streaming for a couple of reasons. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm having my whatever seasonal depression bout as well, so that's not helping. I don't want to fucking do anything at all. But then on top of that, I also want to I'm also trying to make videos, and I just don't have enough time for that. So if I stream, I can't make videos, and if I make videos, I can't stream. I'm so fucking... Ugh. That's why I was talking to Uth about this. I was like, listen, if I could just... I was just if once I make a certain amount of money from YouTube every month, I swear I'm just gonna reach out to the guy I hired to do the Volume 6 video and just be like, hey, I'll just fucking give you everything I make. Just literally take everything. Just make a video a week for me, okay? I'll give you the script. We'll do all that stuff. Just fucking edit it, because I don't have the time for it. I don't even fucking... Just keep the money, whatever. I just don't have... I can't afford to pay him out of pocket. It's just fucking exhausting. So I'm just so fucking burnt out, dude. It's all good. Lumien's mind was too overwhelmed to deliberate as he consciously selected the first three phrases. Almost instantly, his surroundings darkened, as if enshrouded by a heavy curtain. Behind the illusory and profound shadowed veil, a pair of eyes fixated upon Lumien, penetrating his consciousness and rendering him unconscious nearly. After an indeterminate period of time, Lumien regained his faculties. Rising from his seat, Mr. K's voice, laced with a smile. Henceforth, you are our brother, truly one of us. We are a secret organization that believes in the true creator. We go by the name of the Aurora Order. Aurora Order? The organization that took the blame for me? It seems the official Beyonders didn't misidentify their target. I truly have become a member of the Aurora Order. Oh, thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. Thanks, Pushkar. I appreciate it. I don't know, like some days are better than others. I don't know. I just like today's a little bit of a rougher day. Yesterday I woke up and I felt pretty good. I don't know. Just kind of, I think it's also just winters in Canada are so dog shit. Like you can't leave. It's negative 24 degrees right now. It's so agonizingly fucking cold. You can't leave the house unless you want to, I can go drive around, but I'm still in a fucking closed area. I'm just, it's fine. Dismissing the attendants from the basement, Mr. K addressed Lumien. Gardner Martin is a member of the Iron and Blood Cross Order. Do I know this name? I don't know how. I don't think I have this, dude. Oh. This secret organization once revered our Lord, but in recent years they have distanced themselves from us and ceased their frequent prayers. They appear to be plotting something. I have assigned you to infiltrate their ranks, for I hope you can discover the cause behind their actions and unravel their intentions. Hold on, he's a fucking triple spy? He's a spy from the Tarot Club that's infiltrating the Aurora Order, and he's a spy from the Aurora Order infiltrating the Iron and Blood Cross Order. What is even this? Okay, so wait. If the Aurora Order, if the Iron and Blood Cross Order is worshipping some other being now, other than the true creator, what you're gonna try to tell me is that Lumien is simultaneously praying to the Fool. Well, not technically. Yeah, we'll go with the Fool. Okay, he's simultaneously praying to the Fool, Circle of Inevitability, God Almighty, and a fourth Great Old One. Bro, he's just collecting them like fucking Pokemon cards. The Iron and Blood Cross Order appear to have some significant plans in the works. An equally secretive society, seeming to be related to the competition of faith and Trier's situation. Curiosity stirring within him, Lumien inquired, what exactly is the Iron and Blood Cross Order? Allow Martin to personally enlighten you. If you possess knowledge about their circumstance before, they are likely to notice a problem. So you found a wasted, simple country boy like me to be a spy? Someone with a clean slate? Lumion nodded. Don't you think it's strange that an organization can change the god they worship? I don't know if it's necessarily a change, Dr. Z. I don't know if maybe the Iron and Blood Cross Order is just more in tune with the change in recent times that has happened to the true creator and kind of adjusted their prayers accordingly. Like, obviously, I know even the Aurora Order adjusted his honorific name a little bit to add a little bit more titles that are more in line with what his state as like God Almighty. But it could just be that they're more aware of it and just made some more adjustments that the Aurora Order finds not okay. Just because the Aurora Order is more heretical? I don't know. His thoughts wandered to the mysterious item Gardner Martin had smuggled into Trier, as well as the support of the Savoy mob extended to Hugh Artois. Could the Iron and Blood Cross Order be connected to Hugh Artois? According to the information we have gathered, that is merely one component, and not the primary one. I see. Lumion then broached the subject of mirror people. Gardner Martin seemed aware that the item he had smuggled could trigger a corresponding incident. I suspect that item holds immense importance. It is a matter you will need to unravel. Do not worry, we are generous with our rewards, and when the time comes, you can make any requests. Lumion was about to utter the words, "Help me revive my sister." Mr. K added, "As long as it is within our powers." If I become a member of the Iron and Blood Cross Order and gain access to the information, I'll gain certain privileges, and I can seek rewards from the Aurora Order, akin to fulfilling Madam Magician's mission. She won't reject me. Such treatment is rare. To receive 3 rewards for a single task. I now require some financing for my future endeavors. No problem. I will provide you with 10,000 world ore later. One of the perks of officially joining our Aurora Order. Bye now, and appreciate you popping by, buddy. Dude, 10,000 world ore right off the hop? Oh, chillin'. Very generous, Lumion thought. Rising from his seat, Mr. K extended his hand and began to circle Lumion. My lord is the great being who created this world, the father of all living creatures. We all originate from him, carrying the divine essence he bestowed upon us. Divinity exists within every being, and no one is inherently more noble than the other. We distinguish our status based on our proximity to the Lord and our ability to embrace his teachings. It is through our shared divinity that we can consume potions, face trials, and accumulate power. Ultimately, we can become angels in the service to my lord. Is he preaching? Lumion couldn't help but feel that there were similarities between Mr. K and Madam Magician's story. They seemed to both share the same essence of the oldest one, the original creator. After nearly 15 minutes, Mr. K concluded his preaching and traced a cross on his chest, moving from top to bottom to left to right. It's literally just the cross. Okay, cool. Praise be to you, the creator of all things. Praise be to you who carries the burden of the world's sins. We currently have a total of 7 saints and 22 oracles, each designated by an alphabetical code name, scattered across the continents. There are 21 individuals as strong as Mr. K. The saints are sequence 4s and 3s with godhood, and there's a total of 7? The Aurora Order is far more formidable than he anticipated. Okay, right now, who would win, the Aurora Order or the Tarot Club. Excluding, obviously, God Almighty and Lord of Mysteries. Obviously, and I also don't know the sequences of other people in the Tarot Club right now. I only know Madam Magician is sequence 4 or 3. I know she's a demigod. I don't know how strong she is. Oh no, she might have... I don't know. No, wait, I do. She's an angel. No, she's an angel. She's sequence 2. Never mind. Hold on. So... No. We can't... No. If we're taking out God Almighty, we have to take out Dog Almighty too. It's only fair. It's too unfair, dude. Dog Almighty could probably just take out God Almighty by herself. It's not fair. I think the Tarot Club probably takes it. I think so. With fewer people, mind you. Like, they lose in sheer numbers, but they do win. Just, the difference in their average versus the Aurora Order's average is just, it's too big a difference. Like, one person from the Tarot Club is worth like 15 Aurora Order members. I don't know, that number might be a bit hyperbolic, but you get the idea. Concluding the introduction, Mr. K took hold of his right index finger and tore it off and tossed it to Lumion. Use it in times of dire need. Lumion cut the finger. Although he was unafraid of pain or injuries, and he could stab himself without hesitation when needed, he simply couldn't pluck away a finger without reason. In a matter of moments, a new finger sprouted from Mr. K's hand. With the gathering at 9, Lumion secured 10,000 World Door and made his way to Psychic's old journal library, and stayed there until 6 p.m. He then leisurely found a nearby restaurant and spent 2 World Door on an inexpensive set meal. Lumion made his selections from the provided menu, opting for beef chowder, rabbit meat, and a serving of roasted cauliflower. TC is very top-heavy, or Order has more depth. I don't know if they have more depth. I think they have a lot more people at, like, the, sequence 9 through, I don't know, 7 or 6 range than the Tarot Club does. Obviously, I don't know how many minor arcana exist now. I have no concept of it, obviously. But all the same, like, I still do think the Tarot Club takes it. As the gathering commenced, Lumion, already in possession of a scorpion poison, sold the aquatic monster's blood, poison scales, and other items he had no use for, fetching him another 100 World Door. So far, he had amassed 14,710 World Door, mostly the courtesy of Mr. K, filling him with confidence that he could gather the remaining 30,000 World Door quickly. If he borrowed a bit here, pocketed a bit there, combined with the spoils of war, he should have enough. Shortly before 11, Lumion returned to La Marche de Courtier de Gentlemen. Ruhr and Michael, residents of the 3rd floor who made a living selling photos near the Suet steam locomotive station, were hauling a bulging flaxen-colored cloth bag. So late? Lumion asked. He knew that Ruhr and Michael were working as part-time scavengers. Ruhr said, "Tonight, the member of the Parliament House hosted a celebratory feast and discarded a lot of valuable rubbish. We waited until the bags could no longer hold before returning." The Market District's Member of Parliament was celebrating Hugh Artois' election? Before igniting the carbide lamp, he noticed a square folded paper on the table. The pyromaniac formula? Did she have the messenger leave it before my arrival? Is she so confident in me becoming a member of the Aurora Order? These thoughts raced as Lumion picked up the white paper and unfolded it. Your next mission is to complete the task assigned by Mr. K. Pyromaniac Potion Formula. Main ingredient: Fire Salamander Gland, Magma Elf Core. Supplementary ingredients: 50 ml Fire Salamander Blood, 10 grams of magma pyroxene powder, 10 grams of red crown balsam powder, 10 drops of sunstar extract. Usage. What do you think, idiot? Jackie wrote down the main ingredient? Does this mean I'll need the accompanying parts for the potion? Is Madam Magician also interested in uncovering the Iron and Blood Cross Order situation? How did she know today would be the day? For now, Lumion had no choice but to follow her instructions. Having attended 2 mysticism gatherings, Lumion had enveloped a certain understanding of the potion's formula's value. If he were to sell it, he could exchange it for the pyromaniac Beyonder characteristic. Of course, this idea was fleeting. Without Madam Magician's explicit understanding, he didn't dare entertain it. Wouldn't it be equivalent to trading Madam Magician's potion formula for her pyromaniac characteristic? Instead, Lumion found a more feasible plan, inspired by a popular trade scheme in Intes. The plan required a down payment of 10,000 World d'Or, with the remaining 20,000 to be paid in installments, along with 10 to 15% interest. After carefully considering, Lumion, sensing a high likelihood of Madam Magician possessing godhood, dismissed the idea. Yeah, he already had almost half the funds. There was no need to offend a demigod by negotiating in installments. Even if the harvest sacrifice didn't yield a satisfactory price, or Franca had little savings, Salted Breeze still had a lot of cash flow. As the protector, what harm would there be in embezzling a small sum? It's not even embezzling, no? Couldn't he just be like, hey, listen, I have a business opportunity. I'm going to take some of the profits that I would have received at the end of the year now. I will deduct it from my withdrawal at the end of the year. Like, it's not that fucking complicated. It's not embezzling. It's just like a prepayment. He can even be like, hey, I'll take it now and I'll leave an extra 5% at the end of the year as interest. Okay, done. Easy. By the way, we said 235 today, is that right? Or 236? What was the number? I can't remember. Let me check in Discord really quick. Yeah, 239 now. $234? Okay, dope. Realizing the lateness of the hour, Lumion planned on delving into Aurora's grimoire until midnight. He resolved to seek out Franca the next morning and inquire about the sale of the harvest sacrifice. Franca, known for her late sleeping habits. If I go now, she'll be awake. Most likely. She'll be asleep before 11 tomorrow. Lumion had a change of heart considering this, and departed from the motel. Unk is washed. But if you can read more, then I'd love to get to 239. It has only been an hour. We could probably do this. Fuck it. We'll go to 239. Fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. Fuck it, we ball. Fuck it, we ball, baby. Fine, 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 fine. Okay. Three Rue de Bleu Blanche. After knocking a few times, Lumion caught sight of Franca. What's the matter this time? She asked. Is Jenna not here? Are you here for her? She doesn't have to perform tonight. She left early. Oh, that's good. I won't have to climb over the outer wall and leave later then. So you came to mock me? Franca had chuckled. After playing a simple prank, Lumion settled himself on the green divan. You missed quite a show in the market district this afternoon, she said. The police took All of the places tied to the mob, Brignay, Simon, Christo, and Black, were all apprehended and brought to the police, nearly falling to the clutches of the official Beyonders and receiving their customary treatment. Luckily, Gardner managed to contact a few newly elected people and convince Hugh Artois to exert some pressure onto the churches and the headquarters. By throwing a few scapegoats, the matter was resolved. You didn't get caught? Lumion chuckled. I didn't go anywhere today. I spent the whole afternoon playing Fighting Evil with Jenna and my star dancer. Why would I get caught? You see, there's nothing wrong with being lazy. My favorite saying is that lazy people are blessed by being lazy, Franca said. I've never heard that before. Where'd it come from? I fucking made it up. Did Jenna suggest playing indoors in the afternoon and playing cards? How'd you know? Could it be that Jenna told him herself? They shared so much. Lumion had nothing to hide and said, Charlie paid me a visit today and Jenna happened to be there. From him, I learned that the official Beyonders planned a joint operation to clean up the mobsters in the market district. My source is that I made it the fuck up. I advised Jenna to keep it a secret so as to not trouble Charlie. And it seems she proved trustworthy, simply keeping you occupied. No wonder you weren't around, Franca said. Jenna's still on my side. Why did Jenna come to you? After the demise of Roger, she came to find out, due to my suspicious ongoing conflicts with them. Adnan, thanks man, appreciate you popping by. Thank you. Glad to have you. Since I arrived in Trier... Wait, no, hold on. The Aurora Order ended up being the scapegoat in this case. Since I arrived in Trier, I've noticed the newspapers that whenever something happens, the terrorist group known as the Aurora Order would claim responsibility. But I never imagined that we would get a taste of that treatment. The subsequent investigations were misled, and no one suspected us. The Aurora Order is indeed responsible for this. After Lumion mocked Franca, he steered the conversation back to track. After taking advantage of the situation, I added a mysticism gathering in the afternoon and managed to obtain the formula for the pyromaniac potion, as well as some clues about its main ingredients. You're quite fortunate, Franca said. If we weren't in Intes, I doubt your story. It is only in Intes that the pyromaniac formula is so readily available. Please help me keep an eye out for the supplementary ingredients: fire salamander blood, magma, pyroxene powder, and red crown balsam. Bushgar, no worries, man. Appreciate you popping by. Okay. No problem, Franca said. She inquired about the quantities of each ingredient in detail before saying, do you have enough money? I mean, for the purchase of the main ingredient? Actually, I just came to ask if the harvest sacrifice has been sold. How could it be sold so quickly? It's only been a day. I haven't even had the chance to attend any gatherings. If you need money urgently, I can lend it to you. No, there's no rush. Based on my experience, Harvest Sacrifice won't fetch a high price due to its side effects. You can expect it to sell from 10 to 12,000 world ore. I'm satisfied with the rain today? What the fuck? Did he cause the rain? What, am I missing something? When you need the money, I can provide you 6,000 world ore directly. Consider it a buy of the harvest sacrificed. Additionally, I can lend you 20 to 30,000 world ore, but you must return it within 3 months. Okay. He then looked to Franca, took out Fallen Mercury, and said, I need to find someone who can repair Beyonder weapons. What's the point? Its energy will deplete. It's very useful, Lumion admitted. I want to use it for as long as possible. Of course, he had to wait until reaching Sequence 6 and could withstand the corruption before mentioning, as he didn't wish to mention that he had a means to replenish Fallen Mercury's energy. He can control the weather. Which server? That's true, Franca said. Roger. Franca recalled how useful Fallen Mercury had been in the battle against Roger. I'll help you inquire, but no artisan would likely accept the task of repairing a suspected corrupted weapon, fearing the potential adverse effects. Artisan, a Beyonder skilled in repairing mystical items? After exchanging a few words, Lumion left. Arriving back at the bar, despite it almost being midnight, the place was still bustling. Lumion made his way to the finance office on the second floor, unlocked the safe, and asked the accountant, "How much cash do we have on hand?" "Approximately 28,000 world ore." "Give me 12,000, Lumion said. "Huh?" While Lumion was the protector of Sol de Barbry, taking such a substantial sum was unthinkable. The accountant exchanged a glance with the young cashier, indicating that he should go find Renee, the manager. "Renee arrived. Monsieur Ciel, why do you need to withdraw 12,000 world d'or?" "Personal expenses." Renee pondered for a moment before saying, "No problem. In the first 2 years, the Baron would take between 40 and 50,000 world d'or annually. During the transition, he even withdrew 15,000, which would have counted as part of the first half of the first year. And it's not even the second half. Monsieur Ciel, consider this an advance." "Sure." Lumion didn't concern himself with the details, he simply needed the money. Chillin'. See, this is what I thought. Like, it's no embezzlement. And by the way, can I just say, if this was embezzlement, he's the shittiest person in the fucking universe. Who the fuck goes up to the accountant and says, "I need $12,000. This is not embezzlement, bro. That's just asking for money and getting it. I don't think, embezzlement is like definitionally hiding it. So like you would like somehow take the money and like adjust the journal entries saying like there were some fucking, merchandising expenses or whatever that would account for the difference. This is not embezzlement. This is just asking. Currently, he possessed 26,710. With the addition of 6,000 from Harvest Sacrifice, that would be plenty. As Lumion, laden with a significant amount of cash, left Sol de Barbry, he felt a sense of unease wash over him. He wasn't afraid of being robbed. Rather, he worried that a conflict might damage the money bag or tear the banknotes. I must find a safe place. I can't just carry it. Before long, his eyes caught sight of the brightly illuminated office belonging to the Market District's Member of Parliament. It stood as a classic 4-story building, the celebration banquet still underway. Lumion, pausing for a moment, settled in the shadows across the street. Hugh Artois, who enjoyed the combined support of the Savoy mob and the Poison Spur mob, not to mention Lady Moon, was undoubtedly a man of influence. Some of the guests he invited could very well be problematic individuals connected to the schemes of the Iron and Blood Cross Order. As time went on, an increasing number of guests emerged from the Member of Parliament. Lumion found no one who aroused suspicion. He could only confirm that most of them belonged to the upper echelons of society. They were elegantly attired and their faces had graced the pages of various newspapers. As a familiar figure caught his eye, Martner Garden. Gardner Martin, an amiable man, the mob's boss. Dressed in a tailcoat and a dark brown bow tie, Gardner seemed to sense something as he looked where Lumion sat. Lumion's heart skipped a beat. His thoughts raced as he made up his mind, rising to his feet and approaching Martin. "Good evening, boss." "What brings you here?" Martin asked. "I left Sol de Barbry notice that the Member of Parliament's office was still having a banquet. I thought I'd check which guests Hugh Artois had invited, so as to avoid offending the wrong people." "Commendable habit," Martin said. With a gesture signaling Lumion to leave, he proceeded towards a private carriage, accompanied by the butler. "Boss, I took an advance of 12,000 world d'or from the dance hall today," Lumion said. Okay, we'll do 234, and then I'm going to play a chess game, and then we'll read the last 5 chapters? 5, yeah. Zaza, you still here, by the way? Like saying the French are free spirit. I'm aware, yeah, I know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, again, this is like the shittiest embezzlement in the universe. He takes the money by asking the accountant, telling them the reason, and then goes to his boss and says, hey, I just wanted to let you know I did this. I don't think he knows what embezzlement is. This is literally just taking an advance on your pay. Like, I could do this I could just go to my boss and be like, hey, I'm really sorry. I need an advance on my pay. I have some big personal expense. That's not embezzlement. That's just asking. What are we doing? Martin's eyebrows lifted in surprise as he looked up at Lumion. Let's talk inside. Upon hearing this, the butler took the initiative to settle himself at the front of the carriage beside the driver. Silently, Lumion trailed behind Martin and entered the carriage. Why did you advance such a hefty sum? Given the opportunity to enhance my strength, I wish to become a Sequence 7. Is 12,000 enough? In addition to the 18,000 you provided last time and my savings? Yes. Did you come across anyone selling the main ingredient for the pyromaniac potion? And do you possess the formula? Yes, Lumion said. You've divulged all of this to me. Shouldn't this be kept a secret? I feel prepared to consume the potion. It won't be long before I advance to Sequence 7. When that happens, if a conflict arises, concealing the change in my strength would be impossible. You'll find out soon anyway, so why not just tell you? No, my boss would give it. What do you mean? I work for a bank, Dr. Z, so like that, it's a relatively common thing. Like, I've never had to do it because, you know, I actually fucking manage my finances. But like, it's a relatively common thing. If you tell them in advance, they'll have to send a request. It'll take like 2 or 3 days for it to get approved and you'll have the funds in your account. Just not that big a deal. That's one reason, Lumion said. Another is that I've lived on the streets and faced persecution. I adhere to a simple principle. I treat those well who treat me well. He wasn't attempting to flaunt his loyalty. According to Jenna, such an exaggerated loyalty would seem untrustworthy. Similarly, Martin would definitely comprehend the underlying purpose behind Lumion's frankness, a display of astuteness. Very good, Martin said, chuckling. The Baron, Christo, and the others have their own secrets, assuming I am oblivious. The fact that you can ascertain your situation, your future progress, and my stance indicates that you are more astute than them. Most times, sincerity proves to be the most effective approach. Sincerity? Boss, I have a lead on the main ingredients, but I'm unsure where to find the supplementary ones. Would you be able to keep an eye out for fire salamander blood, magma proxine powder, and red crown balsam? I don't want to say anything. Like, I'm not saying it like my boss would do it because she's so fucking nice. She's very nice, mind you, not the point. But like, it's not a she would or he would or whatever, right? It's just policy. Like, banks, because of the fact that they're fucking banks, have like this built into their, like my employee agreement. This is like part of a thing. It's not up to my boss to be like, no, I won't fucking grant it to you. Like, if I ask for it and I'm an employee in good standing, blah, 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 they just grant it. So, listen, as far as I'm concerned, the only good manager is a manager you just never have to hear from, okay? That's all I want. If I'm doing my job well, just leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to, just fucking leave me alone. And my manager does that like 10 out of 10. She doesn't... I'm having a good time. She just leaves me the fuck alone. That's all I want from you. I don't want nothing. Listen, if I need something from you, I'll reach out. If I'm fucking something up, let me know. But if I'm doing my job well, just leave me alone. I don't need to have this discussion like, hey, so like, everything's going great. Like, this is just awkward for all of us. Just fucking leave me be, please. From Lumion's perspective, Martin, suspected to be a Sequence 6 or Sequence 5 of the Hunter pathway, would have an easy time finding the supplementary ingredients. Perhaps he still even had some leftover ones. According to Aurora's grimoire, the supplementary ingredient could be preserved for a long time if the method was correct. Martin was taken aback. He didn't expect Ciel to make such a simple request. No problem, Martin said. Observing that Martin didn't inquire about the quantities, Lumion grew increasingly convinced that he was a mid-sequencer of that same pathway. While you were observing the Member of Parliament's office, did you find anything suspicious? No, just individuals whose pictures I've seen in the newspapers. Indeed, there's the President and Vice President of the Savoy Chamber of Commerce, Bono Goodville, the owner of the Goodville Chemical Factory, Clement, the manager of the Nova Mechanical Prosthetics, Etienne, and Etienne from the Saint Ger Phlogiston factory. I was invited as a shareholder of the Reese Docks and the head of the Reese Shipping Company and Savoy Construction Company. If I could quit by law, I would have left a million times. Oh wait, you're stuck under a contract for a certain amount of time, Dr. Z, to pay back your tuition effectively, right? I feel like we had this conversation a long time ago. I might have that slightly off, I apologize. However, we can barely squeeze into Trier's high society. In the business world, the true heavyweights are the chairmen and the proprietors, the shareholders of behemoths. Lumion had come across the names of these corporations before. The company that had left the deepest impression on him was the Balam Paz Import and Export Corporation. To protect their interests in the West Balam and Paz Valley, they had even been allowed to finance a substantial private army. Noticing that the carriage was about to leave, Gardner signaled the driver to stop and nodded at Lumion. Before consuming the potion, ensure your condition is favorable. It is better to delay than to take unnecessary risks. After acknowledging Martin's advice, Lumion left the carriage and headed to Rue de Bleu Blanche. He intended to conceal his cash within the confines of a safe house. After walking a certain distance, Lumion hesitated. Safe houses didn't guarantee safety, especially in lower class areas. If a burglar were to stumble upon Aurore's grimoire, it'd be of little use. At most, they would search through it in the hopes of finding a few banknotes, but $26,000 Vril d'Or would undoubtedly be taken. Should I set up a few traps in the safe houses to deter thieves? Lumion's thoughts raced as a better idea struck him. An idea to provide Madame Magician an advance payment of $26,000. Therefore, there would be no risk of losing the cash. Lumion made up his mind and arrived at his safe house, and wrote, "Esteemed Madame Magician, I have procured 26,000 Vril d'Or. I offer this as an advance payment. Once I gather the remaining 4, you may send me the characteristic. Looking forward to your reply." After summoning the puppet messenger and entrusting it with a cloth bag, along with the letter, Lumion felt a significant sense of relief. Before long, the puppet messenger came back. 26,000 Vril d'Or has been received. Magician. Akin to receiving a receipt, Lumion muttered. Okay. All I'm gonna say is, obviously, Forrest wouldn't, because we know, like, a lot, but, like, what if she just, like, ghosted him now? What if she just ghosted, like, again, she wouldn't, because we know her, we know a lot about her, we know she has, like, a mission from the Fool and stuff, but, like, what if she did, though? Like, he'd be... Reaching the second floor, he pursed his lips and continued upwards to the third floor, arriving at room 310, where Flameng once lived. The wooden door stood ajar and the curtains remained undrawn. In a room where someone had met their demise, the door had to be left open and the curtains undrawn for 3 days. Oh, music change? Okay. Same as before, Kami? Different? What if she was distracted with her? Back to sealed? Okay. This was done out of concern that the ghost of the deceased may be reluctant to depart. Lumion stood at the doorway, gazing into the empty room, as if he could still see the madman clutching his head, whispering, "I'm dying." After a while, he silently averted his gaze and proceeded to the stairs. As he approached, he heard a conversation emanating from room 302, despite them attempting to hush their voices. The room belonging to Roer and Michel. There was no sign of a kerosene lamp or carbide lamp being lit in the room. Lumion's acute hearing allowed him to instinctively tune into the conversation. "Old man, look at these They're worth a fortune. I reckon this bag alone is worth 5 Worldor. 5? It's worth at least 15. Old man, if we could stumble upon such valuable rubbish every day, then we'd vote for a member of parliament every day. Praise the sun. Let that member of parliament host a banquet every day. In that case, we could return to Ormir and purchase 10 acres to cultivate grapes within a year. You're quite the dreamer, old woman. What's wrong with dreaming? Don't you dream? Even without the banquet, we have saved up quite a bit of money. Another 4 or 5 years should suffice. True, when the time comes, we won't have to toil as hard as we do now. Lumion ceased eavesdropping and chuckled, descending the stairs and climbing into his bed. In the midst of the night, he was startled by footsteps. He glanced up towards the corridor and heard a knock. Standing outside was Madame Michel. Roar is taken ill, Ciel. Monsieur Ciel, please help me to carry him to the clinic. I have money. Roar is unwell? It was fine when I went to bed. Are you not reading the... I'm paraphrasing, Kami. Damn. There's no dude, this is fucking, this is old Kohler all over again. No fucking way. Come on. Okay, I was gonna play some chess, but I don't want to leave after that, so we'll keep going for now. Observing Lumion's silence, Michelle spoke. If you're not willing, I can find someone else. I just don't know who. They really don't like us here. They can't stand us. This was precisely why she sought Lumion, a leader of the mob. Lumion and Charlie were the only one at the motel who could calmly communicate with the couple, but Charlie had already left. I'll go. Still perplexed, he walked past Michelle and hastened to the second floor. The place was filled with all kinds of rubbish as he entered the room, emanating an indescribable stench. Lumion raised his hand, pinched his nose, and maneuvered his way to the cramped space, barely fitting a single person. Roer, with his eyes shut, lay on the bed, his face flushed and his breathing ragged. He's fallen ill. Lumion furrowed his eyebrows, holding his breath, turned around and carried Roer out of the room. Meanwhile, Michelle swiftly rummaged through the piles of trash, uncovering hidden spots with single banknotes and coins, which she had concealed on her person. As they left, Michelle locked the door and said, Monsieur Ciel, pay me no mind. Send Roer to the clinic, I'll catch up. Lumion nodded, quickened his pace, and sprinted out. He was familiar with Rue de Blue Blanche's clinics, often frequenting the area. He quickly spotted the clinic in a small hospital in all but name. Le Marche de Quartier de Gentlemen and Quartier de Noël had been neighboring districts for quite some time. The Holy Palace Hotel, funded by the Eternal Blazing Sun, was located across the bridge, and as a result, only a few clinics were situated on this side. The Roblin Clinic had 2 doctors on duty during night. Temporary beds were set up in the spacious hall, and few patients lying on them receiving treatment of different kinds. The doctor, donning gold-rimmed glasses in his early 20s, glanced at Lumion, without mentioning any consultation fee, disdainfully examined Roer. He's running a high fever, but there doesn't seem to be anything else. We'll try to bring down the fever first. If it persists, we should transfer him to the hospital. Okay, Lumion said. The doctor wrote a prescription for Lumion and instructed him to make the necessary payment. Lumion complied, receiving the fever medicine and infusion drip. The fools? Pharmaceutical company type 1357 fever medicine. Holy shit! He did? Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? The fucking the shitty little vampire fucker? Oh, he actually set up a pharmaceutical company that's even being sold in Trier? Let's go, baby! Emlyn, the shitty little vampire. The go. Hold on, coming in clutch. Listen, if they're okay. Listen, I may not like him. But his fucking medicines work. Hold on. Oh, we might be able to save him. Hold on. He clutched up though. He actually clutched up. Hold on. Madame Michel finally arrived, panting and exhausted. She accepted the prescription from Lumion and looked at the price. It's 5 world d'or. She clenched her fist and retrieved the copper and silver coins and paid it. Before long, Ruhr was carried to the temporary bed for infusion. This treatment had only gained popularity in recent years. Thank you, Moswasiel. You can go back and rest. I'll stay with Ruhr. Lumion didn't insist. After all, he was no doctor. He nodded slightly and looked to Ruhr, concentrating, intending to check his luck. Monsieur Ruhr was on the brink of death, but it wasn't severe or evident. There seemed a chance of salvation, unlike the previous vagrant. Just as Lumion was about to suggest transferring him to the Holy Palace Hospital, Ruhr's condition took a turn. Translucent blisters emerged, swiftly filling with yellow pus. Such symptoms, such progression. Lumion's intuition told him this was no ordinary illness, perhaps connected to mysticism. Monsieur Ruhr is a mere scavenger. Why would he be affected by the supernatural? Lumion raised his head and pointed to Ruhr and addressed Michel. You are believers of the eternal blazing sun, yes? Take him to the cathedral and give it a try. He sensed that the Holy Palace Hospital may not be equipped to deal with an illness involving the supernatural. It is better to pay a visit to the cathedral and determine if purification could help. Michel looked at her husband and said, "No, transfer him to the hospital, please." To Michel's understanding, seeking blessings at the cathedral was akin to giving up on treatment and preparing for solace on the deathbed. Lumion refrained from persuading her, realizing that it was in the dead of night and the cathedral had long closed its doors. Moreover, Ruhr and Michel were nothing but scavengers, so the chances of the cathedral opening the doors for them were slim. Additionally, the cathedral was quite a distance away and Ruhr's condition was rapidly deteriorating. He may not survive the journey, let alone live long enough to rouse the cathedral to open the door. Lumion observed Ruhr, whose blisters had burst and were now oozing pus, and spoke to Michel. Find a doctor and transfer him to the hospital. Oh, okay. Michel snapped out of her daze and rushed to the doctor. Once she vacated, Lumion positioned himself to block the view of the other patients and retrieved the iron-colored metal canister, the healing agent he had received from Harmon. He's a good person. No, he's not. Lumion is a very conflicting person. I think by design, because internally he's very conflicted as well. But unscrewing the cap, he pinched Ruhr's mouth open and forced down the agent. Ruhr, seemingly parched, swallowed the clear liquid. He began to calm down. In less than a minute, Michel returned. The blisters on Ruhr's face shriveled and fell away. It worked. Lumion once again looked at Ruhr's fate. This time, there were no signs of impending death. Ruhr's destiny for the next couple of days seemed somewhat chaotic. Isn't he in pretty good shape? The doctor asked. Madame Michel, also noticing the blisters that were now gone, leaving only scars and wrinkles. I apologize, she said. I'm thinking because Chris, I wanted to say he's a good person, but then I remembered what he did to the vagrant, where he stabbed him, and then obviously the vagrant was gonna die soon anyway and all that stuff, but I wouldn't call him Klein, I can unequivocally say, is like a good person. Almost like too good. To like a fucking... like, I wouldn't expect there to be such a person in real life who would so... to such an extreme be willing to put himself on the line for like people he's never known and such, right? Whereas Lumion seems a lot more like a anti-hero than he does like a hero or villain. Does that make any sense? Like, he seems more akin to... Let me put it this way. Klein might be Spider-Man, but Lumion is like the Punisher. Is that like a good... Does anyone get what I'm... I don't know if any of you read Marvel Comics or to what extent, but like... Chaotic good? I would say chaotic neutral, probably, dude. I would put CL as a chaotic neutral. Probably. I mean, you can make the argument for chaotic good, for sure, but I would probably put him as chaotic neutral. The doctor, irritated by the stench, waved his hand dismissively. The fool pharmaceutical company's medications are far more effective than the others. Since the situation has improved, we'll keep a close eye, and there's no need to rush him. Madame Michel slumped next to Ruhr, checking his forehead. Occasionally, Lumion remained by her side. He pulled up a stool and sat. 10 minutes later, Ruhr opened his eyes. Where am I? Why did I fall ill out of the blue? I felt fine. What did you do before going to bed that was different than normal? Lumion asked. Nothing, just the normal. I sorted through the trash we collected, went to the washroom, had a chat, and went to bed. Maybe I came back late last night? It was nearly 1 by the time I finished sorting. So I slept kinda late. Is there something wrong with the garbage? Or did something happen during the day? Lumion delved deeper, hoping for clues from Ruhr and Michel, but alas, it proved fruitless. Ruhr recuperated quickly. Once the IV had been administered, he insisted on leaving the clinic immediately, unwilling to spend any more money. Observing that Ruhr's luck had remained unchanged, Lumion didn't try to dissuade him. Lumion furrowed his brows, looking in room 302, surveying the piles of garbage, hoping to pinpoint the problematic one. Ruhr and Michel stood beside him, expressing their gratitude incessantly. Given the environment, his sense of smell proved useless. Lumion activated his spirit vision, yet still found nothing. He could only say to Ruhr and Michel, we can't rule out the possibility there may be something contaminated in this trash that caused your illness. Sleep in a different room tonight and wait until the morning. That's actually a really good way to put it, Dr. Z. Like, it's the equivalent of... Oh, actually, that's a good one. Have any of you seen Dexter? Lumion might be like the equivalent of Dexter. Not who Dexter actually is, but who Dexter perceives himself to be. Like, Dexter perceives himself to be a psychopath or sociopath with no sense of like good or bad, but he instinctively does good things because his father taught him, like, hey, you're not gonna, like, this is wrong. Even though you can't instinctively tell that this is wrong because you don't have like a moral compass, this is the wrong thing to do. You're not gonna do that. So even though Dexter doesn't do it because like, oh, I feel that consciously this is a bad thing, he knows like, hey, my father wouldn't want me to do this, so I won't do that. So Lumion is following very closely in that same path because he's saying like, Aurora wouldn't want me to do that. And that's a very good way to put it, Dr. Z. Before Ruhr could respond, Michel, terrified by her husband's illness, said, all right, thank you, Monsieur Ciel. 2 vacant rooms were available on the 3rd floor. Lumion arranged for them to rest in room 307. It was already past 4. Lumion returned to room 207 and laid on his bed, drifting into a sleep. Suddenly, he jolted awake, catching a glimpse of a woman's cries. Lumien's heart tightened as he grabbed fallen Mercury and left the room, ascending to the 3rd floor. He halted outside room 307. The crimson moonlight that filtered through the curtains spotted Michelle kneeling before the bed, uncontrollably weeping. Sensing his approach, Michelle, clad in a yellow gown, directed her gaze to the door. CL, Roar is dead. Come on. Come on. What the fuck, dude? Fucking cringe lord. Cuttlefish. What the fuck, dude? He's dead? Lumien thought. His heart felt heavy. Yeah, with the news he anticipated but couldn't accept. Leaving the clinic, Roar had appeared to have recovered, escaping the clutches of death. How did he die? Lumien entered room 307. There lay Roar, his body plagued by festering wounds oozing pus. When did he pass away? Lumien asked. I was exhausted and fell asleep. When I woke up, he was gone. Did he return to room 302? No, he only went to the washroom before. I followed him, Michelle said. They had all visited the washroom, and only one fell ill, while the others were okay. Lumien determined to investigate the washroom, yet nothing seemed amiss there. The likelihood of Madame Michelle being abnormal becomes more and more probable. As Lumien departed, heading towards the bathroom, Michelle remained kneeling beside the bed, weeping. The 3rd floor restroom was no longer as filthy as before due to the regular cleaning ladies. Although some stains and trash were unavoidable after daily use, it still passed for civilized individuals. Lumien glanced around, taking in the sight of the toilet bowl and sink illuminated by the moon's crimson glow. After careful examination, he noticed a white silk handkerchief draped over a pipe. Even with a casual glance, Lumien could tell that it didn't belong to any current residents of the motel. A fabric that was of superior quality, a clear sign of its expense. I know. I still believed he was gonna die, honestly, so it didn't. Don't forget to change the stream title to include, Chris, already done. If you refresh, it should already be there. I will fix the previous ones tonight. I'll do it after stream. Afterwards, Lumien, as expected, Lumien retrieved his gloves and put them on. He returned to the washroom and used fallen Mercury to lift the handkerchief and placed it on the white paper he had with him, making sure not to touch the handkerchief directly. Afterwards, Lumien wiped fallen Mercury's blade with another piece of the white paper and tossed the crumpled ball into the toilet bowl. Stepping into the washroom, he noticed Madame Michelle silently standing by the door. It's almost dawn. Would you help me move him back to room 302? Okay. Lumien entered room 307, wrapped Roar's body in bedsheets, hoisted him onto his back, and with a few steps carried the lifeless form and placed it on the bed in room 302. Michelle, having squeezed through the trash, expressed her profuse gratitude before striding to the wooden table and drawing the curtains. It was almost 6, a.m. as the first rays of dawn broke through the sky. Michelle listened to the vendors outside the motel. Lumion retreated from room 302, returning to the corridor, silently leaning against the wall. After a few minutes, Madame Michelle sprang into action, rummaging through the room, finding coins and banknotes. Hastily running down the stairs, Lumion didn't dare follow. As time passed, Michelle returned with an abundance of items. A bottle of red wine, grilled cod, cured meats, meatloaf, soybean paste, hot sauce, and apples. Without even looking at Lumion, she entered the room, collapsed on the bed, and put the food beside the corpse. Fuck, I don't even want to read that. Michelle, once again, lowered herself to the floor, picked up the meatloaf, and brought it to Roar's mouth. Haven't you been craving meatloaf lately? I bought it for you. After allowing some of the oils to moisten the corpse's lips, Michelle took a bite. It's delicious. How long has it been since we ate? 2 weeks? After taking a few more bites, Michelle seized the bottle of red wine and took a swig. Old man, our vines have produced red wine. We needn't worry about what the future holds. Engaging in a one-sided conversation, she continued to indulge. Outside, Lumion remained in the darkness, watching the scene unfold. He neither entered nor left. Soon, Michelle began to feel the effects of the wine. As a former barmaid, she began to sing. Trier, a city dressed in gold, a ball that endures till the dawn unfolds. Chicken roasted, dripping with the oil's grace, a castle cake to fill each eager embrace. A bow-tied attendance glides amongst the guests, merrily dancing with joy and delight. My beloved hidden midst the crowd, among them a beacon shining bright. Among them my love resides, in the capital of joy, forever, Trier. Michelle stood up and stumbled to the wooden table, gathering the banknotes in front of the lamp. In an instant, the cash caught on fire and flames erupted. In the capital of joy, forever Trier, she shouted. She retrieved the rope that had once bound the sack and climbed the table, tying the rope firmly to the window frame. In the flickering light of the fire, Michelle turned to face Roar, lying motionless, positioned the knot around her neck, and bent her legs. The knot tightened as her eyes bulged, struggling for breath. Outside the window, the sky grew brighter, casting a faint light that bathed in a portion of the corridor. Lumion leaned against the wall outside, with his hands in his pockets and his right foot propped up. His gaze impassively at Michelle, suspended from the window frame, witnessing her mouth gradually open. He witnessed her expression contort in pain. In the morning light, the corpse swayed gently. "6:35 a.m. 3 Rue de Bleu Blanche. Startled by the knocks, Franca woke up. I have only slept for 3 hours. Please, help me investigate the contents for any anomalies, Lumion said. Be cautious, it might be infectious. Infectious? She unwrapped the outer layer of paper, extracting the silk handkerchief. There is indeed an issue. There's a small but active number of spirits lingering on it, belonging to the same category. I suspect it is a pathogen. It spreads through the contact with the skin or even blood exchange. Based on your description, it's not highly contagious. Can you determine the owner of the handkerchief? No problem. I can locate them. With a powerful medium present, as long as they don't have strong anti-divination abilities, it shouldn't be a problem. After cleansing the area, she removed her gloves and retrieved the makeup mirror, reciting, "The owner of this handkerchief. The owner of this handkerchief." After several repetitions, the mirror emitted an aqueous glow. A slender young man with a pale complexion and unhealthy appearance. His curly, dark yellow hair framed his face, and his brown eyes conveyed an unmasked indifference. Lumion strained to capture the man's features, feeling a sense of familiarity, as if he had seen him. This was a member of Hugh Artois' campaign team, the one who stood behind the red-haired woman. Oh, Hugh Artois, you are just begging to die, buddy. Dude, that was so sad. That was so sad. Chris, did I do something? Why the sad face or angry face or whatever the fuck that's supposed to be? Not me? Oh, okay, cool. I don't give a shit then. Zaz, are you still here by chance? I don't know if he's still here. Bad time for chess? Did we finish the chapters? It's kind of making you mad. Come on, I'm like 7, 8 chapters in. Come on, throw me a bone. Come on. I finished the chapter. We're on 237. Dude, we're at 2.5 hours. Come on. Give me like... Zaz is not here. Anand's not here either. Okay. Just one quick game. I promise. It'll be quick. Not the Gwent one? Oh, come on, you bitch. Alright, bye, Harsh. And he just... Oh, by the way, Zaza was the first rank with his college team in chess tournament. Really? Actually, surprisingly bad. This way he has to take, but now his king can't castle. His king is stuck in the middle. I'm gonna do this and then check him. Go here so that he's If I go here, he takes, I take. This is just a mess, really. I really don't want to. Because he wanted to take, but then I wouldn't be able to take because of this. If you guys are curious, the point of doing this was that if I didn't move my king, he would take the pawn, and then even though this is protected, I can't take because the attack with this. If he pushes, I take the check, so he has to take first. What are we gonna do? Maybe. I go here. Take. Then I go here and start attacking. Protecting. Oh, he can go here now. I don't like to. Oh, now this is so miserable for him. Oh, no. Oh, this is such a miserable position to be in. Yoink. If he goes here, this is mate. If he goes here, I go here. If he goes there, I go here. I could have just also pushed to make a queen, but since I have a rook, it's like... if you guys are curious, here, 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 mate. This is taken, this is taken, this is taken. Alright, good game. Alright, see, that wasn't that bad. It took like 7 minutes. Zaza was really the first chair? Damn, I beat the brakes off that kid. Okay. Have I changed the title? No. It might be better at like 10-minute games. I don't know. So you know him? Franca asked. He's one of few Artois men. I saw him during the campaign. What happened? Franca asked. There's something weird about him. They're already in such dire straits as scavengers, yet they have to face such a situation, Franca sighed. Considering Lady Moon's endorsement of Hugh Artois as an open-minded individual, it wouldn't surprise me if he surrounds himself with peculiar creatures. Technically, he was the vice captain? Oh, okay. Well, hey, all the same, good for him. Pausing to look at Lumion, Franca continued, Hugh Artois is now a member of Parliament. He'll have both visible and covert protection. If we make a move against him or his associates, we'll be tracked down. Let's entrust this to the official Beyonders for investigation. I can't promise much else. At the very least, the Inquisition's purifiers and members of the machinery hive mind won't turn such a blind eye to such affairs. They'll find a way to figure out the truth. Which sequence or pathway could he be? Can phlegm transmit such a disease? As he made his way to the motel, from the motel to Rue de Bleu Blanche, Lumion diligently recalled the 22 pathways, but found no match for his current circumstances. My understanding of the pathways is the same as your similar to your sister's, but I have more comprehensive knowledge of certain aspects. I can think of one pathway that fits the criteria, but it's a much higher level and exclusive to women, not aligning with the target situation. Oh, she's thinking of like Demoness of Despair, would it be? Or Affliction, rather, maybe. But I feel like someone from the Planter pathway could also do something similar. Considering we've encountered the Great Mother and the Blessed of the Mother Tree of Desire, could our targets be blessed by another evil deity? If it involves the faith of an evil deity, the Beyonders from both churches will intensify their efforts without doubt. Yes, Ruhr's death is indeed peculiar. As long as the investigative police aren't blind, they'll swiftly report it to their superiors, who will assign someone to handle it. After bidding farewell to Franca, he made his way to Auberge de Côte d'Or. As he made his way, Madame Fels rose to her feet. Good morning, Monsieur Ciel. A few days ago, the police had informed her that Monsieur I was believed to be involved in a cult and had become a wanted criminal. They had requested her to use their rental income to cover expenses and ensure the motel's smooth operation. Additionally, they wanted her to keep a record of the accounts. Once the elections were over, they would settle the matter of the motel's ownership. Madame Fels felt uneasy, fearing that the new boss would dismiss her. Subconsciously, she tried to win Ciel's favor, hoping that a leader of the mob would stand up for her if the time came. Whoever took control of the motel wouldn't want to offend the corresponding mob. Good morning, Lumion responded as he walked up. He had locked the door to room 302 before the other tenants on the third floor had awakened, so as of yet, no one had found the bodies of Ruhr and Michelle. Michelle's singing before she took her own life failed to disturb the neighbors. To those residing on Auberge de Côte d'Or. Can I change the music, actually? Or should we keep it? Michelle's singing had failed to disturb her neighbors. To those residing on Rue Anarchy, various noises during the night were commonplace. Singing, gunshots, growls, shouting, and other activities were worth paying no mind to. Lumion returned the silk handkerchief to its hidden spot in the washroom before pausing in front of room 302. Extending his left hand clad in a black glove, he turned the handle and opened the creaking wooden door. It was earlier? Oh, was it? Okay. Michelle's lifeless body hung silently in the room, the aroma of food mingled with the corresponding stench of garbage. Lumion gazed at the scene for over 10 seconds before preparing to leave. It was nearly 8 when 2 police officers arrived at the motel, spotting Lumion, using the mystery prying glasses who had disguised himself. Why is there another death? One died of illness? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. And the other? She killed herself. The police officer furrowed his brows and entered room 302. Do not Jesus, got me. The place was too filthy and foul. Next, his gaze fell upon Roar's corpse. You son of a bitch, you call this an illness? Lumen recounted the events of last night, omitting the fact that Roar's condition had worsened while he was at Roblin Clinic and had been revived using half a bottle of healing agent. He also mentioned that his suspicion that Roar had encountered an infectious source within the pile of garbage had collected the previous night, causing them to sleep in room 307. The more the officers listened, the quieter they became. Another mysticism incident, the officer said, looking at CL. Stay here and I'll guard the scene. No problem, the other officer said. Lumion observed as they divided the tasks, patiently waiting the arrival of Beyonders. In less than half an hour, an older-looking police officer arrived. Where are the official Beyonders, Lumion thought. Lumion stood at a distance, straining his ears to catch their words. We've preliminarily determined it to be illness and suicide. No further investigation? The officer repeated what he said when they had taken away Fleming's body. He donned the gloves, placed the silk handkerchief in the cloth bag, and secured it. Even though he died in such a way, they don't find it suspicious? Or perhaps the police officer didn't report it. With these thoughts swirling in mind, Lumion followed the officer carrying the two bodies to the carriage. Lumion furrowed his brow as he observed uniformed officers entering and exiting. His initial suspicion was that an officer from the police headquarters had halted the investigation. Even if he were to enter the police headquarters, given his circumstance and his status, it would be impossible for him to trace their steps all the way to the relevant office. Lumion pondered for a moment. Get Franca to use divination, but there's no medium. But why would they do that? Why would they stop the investigation? Had someone alerted him already? Afraid that someone would be implicated? If it's the latter, there's a high chance that he holds a considerable influence. Lumion's heart stirred as he left the entrance of the police headquarters and arrived outside the 4-story khaki-colored building that housed the parliamentarian's office. Before long, his eyes landed on an officer. His face was plump, in his early 40s, with brown hair and blue eyes. A chief inspector, one rank lower than a superintendent. As Lumion watched, a smile crept on his face. In the khaki-colored building on the second floor, Tybalt, his face pale and his hair curly, entered the office. The secretary, a man in his early 30s, was with neatly combed black hair and blue eyes, hid behind gold-rimmed glasses. He glanced at Tybalt, who was coughing, and tossed a cloth bag on the table. You've recovered your handkerchief. That was quick, Tybalt said. You bastard, a member of parliament, Secretary cursed. Do you not realize that your phlegm can spread diseases to others? Aren't you afraid of catching the attention of the churches? At most, a commoner or two might die. No one would care. I've been sick for far too long without receiving any new boons. It frustrates me, and I wanted to kill someone. If I hadn't taken precautions in advance, the purifiers would have come for you. Your life is inconsequential. Do not jeopardize us, Tybalt. There will be no next time. Damn, someone's begging to die. It's a good day to die hard, Thibault. Alright, so basically today will be like a 3-hour stream, okay? Everyone's Good? Happy? Approximately. It might be like 10 minutes or some shit. No. Should be actually a little over 3 hours. Lumion sat in the alleyway across from the office. Having followed and observed... Change of music? Alright, sounds good. Having followed and observed carefully, he pieced together a few things. Within the office, someone had managed to find a reliable officer beforehand and instructed him to monitor cases of illnesses in their jurisdiction. The officer would keep things quiet, refraining from reporting to the official beyonders. This revelation implied that the sickly lad who had spat into the handkerchief and discarded it knew what would happen, and kept his mouth shut. Lumion's gaze fixated on the building, his gaze unconsciously balled into a fist. After a while, he exhaled slowly. Just then, a familiar figure emerged from the building. A man donning a silk top hat and a dark cane, clad in a sharp black suit. Bono Goodville, the owner of the Goodville Chemical Factory. He had left the celebratory banquet earlier than Martin, the leader of the Savoy mob, last night. Lumion averted his gaze and waited. Only when the chief inspector left the Member of Parliament's office unaccompanied and returned to the police headquarters did he rise from the alleyway teeming with tramps. Before long, he knocked on Franca's door again. How'd it go? Did the official beyonders take over? No. It was brushed off under the carpet by a chief inspector. Even the folks at the Member of Parliament's office recognized the problems of spitting everywhere, Franca said. Lumion found a spot on the sofa and sat down, recounted everything, from the moment the police arrived to investigate the scene until the chief investigator entered the office. I understand you find it hard to accept that a fire may be raging in your heart. I empathize with you. I do. Though that couple has no relation to you, you tried your utmost to save them. Many people can sympathize, but I must insist. Endure. Restrain yourself. These individuals are connected to a Member of Parliament. If anything happens, the situation would explode. It is beyond our capacity. I will say it once again. It is best to leave this matter be. Later, through my contacts, I will inform the official beyonders. Although crucial physical evidence may have been lost and the bodies likely cremated, as long as the official beyonders discover the existence of an abnormal pathway targeting the person I identified, they will discover the problem. Let's go with that, Lumion said. I won't divulge the details, Franca said. I'll merely mention a peculiar ailment causing festering in the market district. There's a suspicion that someone from a Member of Parliament office may have wrapped a handkerchief with thick phlegm, and similar incidents may be concealed. If I don't do this, the official beyonders might suspect you as the source of the investigation. After bidding farewell to Franca and departing, he encountered Jenna on the way. Well, if it isn't Celia, Lumion greeted. Dude, he's such a dick. I would do the same thing, mind you. I'm a fucking piece of shit too, but... Jenna, dressed in a simple grayish-blue gown, had her hair tied up in a bun. Her face lacked any makeup, giving her elegant appearance without the usual air of decadence. Upon hearing Lumion call her by her real name, she clenched her teeth. Just call me Jenna. Did your mother hit you with a broomstick? Damn it. You can't wish anything good upon me, can you? Jenna said. My mother is a gentle soul. Why would she hit me? Initially, she opposed my singing in the dance hall, it's true, thinking it was dangerous. But after I explained how much I earned weekly without having to sleep with anyone, she relented. She even said she'd come to the bar after work today to watch me. Fuck, what am I gonna do? If your mother saw you wearing that revealing dress and raising your legs while singing... Ooh, how would you react? She'd beat me to a pulp, Jenna said. I don't have to wear anything revealing tonight. I remember when I tried singing in a cocktail dress. It was decent. It's been a while, but I can give it another shot. The key is song selection. I'll discuss it with Franca. She has good taste. If that doesn't work out, I'll have Renee organize a theme night at the bar. Tonight's theme will be love. That's a good idea. He looked at Lumion and said, You're quick-witted. Damn it. Thank you. I also told my mother that I'm good friends with Franca from the mob and she's protecting me. That's how I can sing and stay safe. Remember, I came to you that day to negotiate singing fees, and thanks to Franca, you agreed. If my mother asks that what you say. That's called collusion, Lumion said. It's a harmless fib. Just hold on to that until I've been singing for another year. I'll save up enough and pay off the debts, okay? Haven't you thought about seeking proper compensation for that incident? Lumion said. How? The court hasn't reached a final verdict. Why wait for the courts? Settling debts is protected by the guardian of business. We can handle it. The factory owner never said he'd pay us. Are you suggesting we force him? That's illegal. Illegal? I'm a mob leader. Didn't you want to assassinate Margot and avenge your friends? What happened to legality back then? Margot's a mob leader. Who's committed dozens of crimes, each worthy of death. So you wish to be the judge and jury? The factory owner may have done wrongs. Let's mask our faces, tie him up, and make him pay everyone. Or we can convince him to hand over the money quietly and split it amongst ourselves. I'll think about it, Jenna said. Yeah, exactly. I was saying the same thing, Dr. Z. She's a kind soul. She'd beat my ass. Yeah, she's a kind soul because you lied to her about what you do, bro. Chill. CL lived up to his reputation as a mob leader. Discussing breaking the law came so naturally to him. As the evening approached, Lumion sat in the cafe on the second floor of the bar. For now, he had nothing to occupy him. All he could do was wait for Franca or the boss to procure the additional ingredients. Boss, what do you have for tonight? Louis asked. Just as Lumion was about to respond, Jenna approached. Jenna had transformed herself, donning a dress the color of roses. Her long, brownish yellow hair fashioned into a simple bun with most of it cascading smoothly over her shoulders. Her makeup was subtle, a mole adorning the right side of her face. I could hardly believe this was Jenna. Is this suitable? Jenna asked. Quite impressive. What the fuck is happening? Jenna exclaimed, looking out the window, the ground trembling as a deafening explosion echoed. Lumion stood up and made his way to the window. He looked out. In the distance, a plume of black smoke billowed from the south. Find out what's going on, Lumion instructed. What am I putting on, Kami? As Louis departed, Jenna approached Lumion. He's back to see... Again? Goddamn. Once Louis departed, Jenna approached Lumion, her gaze fixed on the dark smoke. After some time, Louis returned to the cafe. Boss, there was an explosion at the Goodville chemical factory. My mother! She's there, Jenna said. No fucking way. Damn, we're gonna lose 2 old people today? Goddamn. 2. 3! No, 3 old people! No, 3! Yeah, you're right, Kami. Fighting fire with water. Alright. Last chapter. Let's do this. Oh, man. Before she could finish her sentence, Jenna snapped out of her daze. Adorned in a rose-colored dress that hugged her frame, she ran down the stairs. Witnessing this, Lumion motioned for Louis and Sarkota to maintain order in the bar. Before chasing Jenna, anxiety and fear filled her face. She made no attempt to conceal her identity. She exerted every ounce of her strength, intending to soar through Avenue de Marche. Only the darkness of the sky and the unlit gas lamps, combined with the chaos of the panicked pedestrians, prevented anyone from noticing the extraordinary speed at which the woman ran. Lumion caught up to her and said, "Take to the shadows!" Determined to reach the Goodville factory as soon as possible, Jenna ran a distance before comprehending Lumion. She altered her course slightly and darted to the dimly lit area. Assassins possess the ability to conceal themselves in shadows. Jenna's emotions surged, making it difficult for her to maintain control, and sprinting at full speed weakened the effects of this ability. At times she would become visible, and at other times she would vanish. Nevertheless, compared to before, she managed to avoid drawing as much attention. Lumion ran alongside the shadows, paying no heed to the perplexed gazes directed his way. Pushing his hunter speed to his limits, he left observers dumbfounded. Certainly, such behavior would arouse suspicion, but he paid it no mind. Within 2 minutes, the two Beyonders ran at full tilt and arrived at Rue de Saint-Guerre. The area was teeming with factories, and the sky was shrouded in dusky smoke tinged with bluish yellow hue. Emerging from the shadows, Jenna caught sight of the blazing metal containers, Goodville Chemical Factory, engulfed in flames. Firefighters battling desperately to extinguish the inferno. Many of the rescued wore peculiar masks adorned with elongated, pointy beaks, while others sported mechanical octopuses on their faces. Elongated, pointy beaks. Plague Doctor masks? I'm sure nearly everyone's seen it, but if you haven't, this is what a Plague Doctor mask is. I used to wear this in like the fucking, I don't know, 1500s or whenever the fuck the Black Plague was. When was the Black Plague? 1346. Fuck. Without a moment of hesitation, Jenna ran into the factory. The pungent odor in the air threatened to overwhelm Lumion. He seized Jenna and said, "Do you know which factory your mother's in?" I don't know. Have you come prepared to shield yourself from chemical contamination? No? Then are you trying to kill yourself? Perhaps your mother has already been saved. Let us search the area where the rescued are. Are you venturing inside to create further chaos? Jenna's heart churned with conflicting emotions. She yearned to rush to the chemical plant to find her mother. It couldn't deny the logic in Lumion's words. As Lumion pulled her back, she followed him to the vacant mine for a few paces. She followed him with a vacant mind for a few paces. Then, as her senses returned, she sprinted to Église de Sifflay, not far from Rue Saint-Hilaire. It stood as the grand cathedral of the Church of the God of Steam and Machinery in La Marche de Courtier de Gentlemen. Jenna had witnessed the rescued victims being carried there. In a matter of moments, she and Lumion arrived at the square outside the cathedral, teeming with workers from the chemical factory groaning in agony. Doctors and nurses, clad in white coats, maneuvered through the crowd, providing first aid, guiding those deemed salvageable to a 2-story carriage stationed at the square's periphery. Jenna's body involuntarily quivered as her gaze swept over the lifeless and injured bodies. Jenna seized her and guided her across the square, searching for her mother. The gas lamps lining the square cast a rudimentary glow. After a few moments, Lumion's keen hunter eyesight caught a wounded figure, suspected to be Elodie. The injured individual's golden wig had mostly been singed away, exposing her flaxen hair. Her eyes, adorned with smudged eyeshadow, remained tightly shut, her countenance marred by soot. None other than Elodie. "Mom! Mom!" Realizing her mother's unconscious state, occasionally punctuated by twitches, Jenna rose to her feet and said, We need a doctor." Having confirmed the victim's identity, Lumion focused on assessing Elodie's luck and deduced it was dire. Even if they swiftly went to the hospital, her chances of survival were slim. "Help me shield her from prying eyes," he seized Jenna. Jenna regarded him with astonishment. Infused with composed demeanor, she turned her body to block the view of Elodie's left side. "I possess a healing agent. Let's try it first," Lumion said. A healing agent? Intently, Jenna watched as Lumion poured an iron-colored metal canister and poured the contents into Jenna's mother's mouth. After more than 10 seconds, Elodie appeared to regain some consciousness. Observing this, Jenna felt a slight wave of relief wash over her. Time seemed to stretch unbearably, suffocating Jenna minute by minute. Finally, she witnessed the burns on Elodie's body start to heal at an astonishing pace, and the bluish tint on her lips fade. Jenna looked up at Lumion, her astonishment palpable. Countless words clamored to escape her lips, but they remained lodged there. Lumion met her gaze and nodded. This agent works wonders in treating external injuries and alleviating ailments. It can transform near-fatal wounds into severe injuries and severe injuries into minor ones. Your mother suffered severe injuries earlier. For now, her life isn't in danger, but she will require intensive care. Upon hearing the words "no longer in immediate danger," Jenna's vision blurred. She had suppressed her tears, but now tears streamed down her face. "Thank you. Thank you," she muttered incoherently. Amidst her words, a distant cry reached her ears. Relatives of the deceased had just arrived. Just as Lumion was about to jest to lighten the mood, a muffled thunder resounded in the air. Lumion looked up instinctively and beheld a thick, darkening cloud looming over the street, where flames still flickered. The cloud wasn't expansive, enshrouding only a few streets. Someone from the Tyrant pathway? Demigod, maybe? The grayish-black smoke tinge... silver-white lightning streaked across the sky, accompanied by muted thunderclaps reverberating through everyone's heart. Torrential rain poured down, concentrating over the street. The grayish-black smoke tinged with yellow swiftly dissipated, settling into the ground, the flames swiftly extinguishing. As swiftly as it arrived, the storm dissipated, and the dark clouds dispersed. Within the golden red light, a behemoth soared above the street. It was a dark gray airship, elongated and circular balloon emitting a loud buzzing noise. At the rear of the hull, paddle wheels spun frenziedly, while numerous cannons, muzzled, and bomb ports adorned its surface. At that moment, a translucent turquoise liquid rained down upon the Goodville chemical factory. An acrid stench began to subside in the air. The authorities resolved the catastrophe? None of that seemed natural. Could it be the work of a Beyonder? Or a sealed artifact? It almost resembled the work of a deity. As Jenna had also witnessed what had just happened, but her focus remained fixed on her mother's injuries, not dwelling too deeply on what had just happened. Elodie's burns had mostly healed, leaving behind only a few charred remnants. Her breathing had stabilized. The curative agent had taken full effect. Jenna closed her eyes and wiped her face, and at that moment a voice rang out, "Celia!" Jenna glanced over and waved her hand. "Julian, over here!" A young man, standing nearly 1.75 meters tall, swiftly made his way to Elodie's side. Clad in a grayish-blue worker uniform, he had flaxen hair and eyes that mirrored Jenna's blue hues. "How's Mom?" She'll pull through." Relief washed over Julian, who then looked at Jenna. Why are you dressed like that? Who's he?" I came straight from the theater. This is a friend. He's been of great help." "Thank you, Lumion," Julian replied. "Fetch a doctor," Lumion said, "and arrange for a carriage to take her to the hospital, or her condition may worsen." "Okay." Julian dashed off to find the nearest doctor and nurse. "If you can't secure a carriage, hire one." "I owe you my gratitude this time," Jenna said. Okay, you guys were right. I don't really see a natural stopping point in any of that. That was all fucking... It kind of all had to be done pretty... I could have stopped at 34, but... Yeah. That wasn't too bad. What was that, like, basically 3 hours on the dot, I think. All right, everyone. We'll call it there. Y'all have a good rest of your day or nights, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow. We'll do the volume ender for this next weekend, okay? Is she gonna be left? I mean, cliffhanger. Yeah, it's fine. We'll do it in bunches. We'll get 49 or 52. You're kidding? Come on. Do 9 chapters. All right. We'll pull through. It is what it is. All right, boys. I'll catch y'all later. Thank you, everyone.